I must tell you, the older I get, the more and more of a fan I am of clear, simple thinking. I've had a couple interactions recently that have been such a reminder of how confused and messy thinking derails us. And I remember a time in life when I knew in my heart what was going on, what the situation was, and I would spend weeks, months, in a few cases, years making excuses to avoid the simple, rational explanation. Simple, rational explanations don't always mean a pleasant explanation. Often simple and rational will go hand in hand with unpleasant, but I'll tell you, it's such a pathway to redemption and fresh living. I was chatting with a gentleman about his girlfriend. Said, we've been together for 3 years. Sheila, all of a sudden now, she says she needs more me time, for herself. And she's taking these flights 3 and 4 hours away. It's just kind of rubbing me the wrong way. And we, bounced around some different scenarios. And I said, have you considered that she may be seeing someone? And he didn't want to hear that at all. Went around the bend, making 1,000 more excuses. Wham! 2 months later, she broke it off and said, I met someone. It's just not going to work out. I wonder where she got all this time to cultivate this relationship and was so convinced this was the next stop for her, probably on those long flights. You see, when we face it, the simple, clean rationale, we can make steps. And perhaps, I'm not going to say this wasn't going to happen, but perhaps if he hadn't spent so much time fighting the reality, he wouldn't have felt so devastated and blindsided. Had a mom to reach out and said she wanted medical workup for her 17-year-old daughter, said she's having some behavioral issues. And I said, well, can you describe what her behavior and go a little bit into detail about, her history, how she grew up, what have you. And it became clear to me as mom was running down this list. She's 17 years old, driving a luxury car. She can do what she wants, goes where she wants, talks how she wants to, who she wants to. So the simple, clear rationale, Mom, have you explored that she may be fine medically, but have some entitlement issues? Mom didn't want to hear it. She poo-pooed that. Fast forward 5 months later, the princess is arrested for shoplifting. Princess is arrested for shoplifting, an item she was told she couldn't have. Nope, she wanted it, and she went ahead and put it in her purse. So again, the simple, clear thinking produces simple, clear results. How about this one? You know what? Point blank, kid, we've spoiled you. The buck stops here. We've made a mistake. You are entitled. You got 1 foot out the door. We've got 1 more year with you, and it's a year where you're going to be straightening up. So again, if you don't face it, you can't deal head on with it. And confused thinking leads to confused results. Had a woman who was of a certain age. She was older and in her early 60s and dating a younger man. He was in his early 40s. And she said, Sheila, he says he loves me dearly, but it's a little concerning that money is so heavily involved in all of our interactions. I don't mind a loan here or there, but this is, an everyday type of thing. And I simply suggested, well, if that's what's really bothering you, if you kind of cut off access to these loans and this money and see what you get then. She didn't want to hear of that. She didn't want to hear about that. But guess what? She had a little financial hiccup. Something happened with her house, and she really had to address that issue. So she couldn't be ATM for him anymore. And he was out the door. He was out the door when the money dried up, and she was absolutely on the floor. And it's really all due to confused and foggy thinking. Folks, I'm here to tell you, in general, the simple answer is the one you want to look at first, the answer that makes the most sense. I didn't say it's the most pleasant. I said it makes the most sense. And I love clean, simple thinking because even if it's difficult to swallow, once you do, you can act accordingly. you can act accordingly. Please remember, distorted thinking leads to distorted behavior and distorted outcomes. Thanks so much. This has been Inspirational Shorts with Sheila. I'll connect with you soon.